Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show. The energy is still abundant in the studio as we prepare for the Rugby World Cup. But of course, lest we forget that it is a weekend, which means there's all kinds of sports going on outside of the Rugby World Cup. Of course, the Springboks taking on the All Blacks tomorrow at 11:45. But then, of course, there's the Proteas taking on India in a T20 series. The Blitzboks who'll be making their way to win their first Oktoberfest Sevens tournament, hopefully. And the Springboks women's side who will be going up against Spain. And Garrin Lambley is back again to share his thoughts on all of this sports. I mean, wow, what a delight for a sports fan.
Absolutely. It's an incredible weekend. It's certainly not just about the Rugby World Cup this weekend.
I think I pretty much summed it up when it comes to the cricket. If you don't bowl Virat Kohli out before he reaches double figures, that's pretty much game, set, match for you. He's just such an impactful player. Was all the difference in the second T20 that we lost to India. But now we go into the third one with an opportunity to draw the series.
Absolutely. You know, the first one was washed out. We lost the second one by 7 wickets, fairly comprehensively, as you say. Thanks a lot to Virat Kohli. Unbelievable form. You know, he's an icon of the game around the world. Certainly when in India, you know, he really excels on those sort of pitches. So he's very, very key to the outcome of not only the T20 at the moment, but the 3 tests that follow thereafter.
Yeah. With the outcome of the World Cup and our dismal performance, how much do you think that's weighing on the minds of the players right now, as they take on arguably one of the best short format teams in the world?
Absolutely. You know, I mean, they've spoken a lot about, you know, having been disappointed by their performance at the 50 over, it must be remembered, Cricket World Cup.
Yeah.
A lot of these players are different. Obviously, the T20 captained by Quinton de Kock, so there's already a key change there, not Faf du Plessis.
Yeah.
So, you know, they've got a different mindset. They're still not in South Africa, having gone sort of straight from England to India. So, you know, maybe until they come and play in front of their home fans, things might change a little bit. But it's certainly a tough assignment taking on India, as you say, certainly one of the best sides, if not the best side, at both Test and T20 formats of the game.
Yeah, and of course we're going into the Test series after the T20 series. The decision to make Quinton de Kock captain, what do you make of that?
You know, it's an interesting one. I think, you know, Faf obviously would like a little bit of pressure off him by not having to be the skipper in all 3 formats. So I think, you know, Quinton de Kock commands his position in the team. He's one of the best players in the world at the shortest format of the game. You know, he actually played really well in the second T20, mustn't forget that. So, you know, I expect big things from him, you know, in the Sunday match. So, you know, he could well be the key. It's sort of Quinton de Kock versus Virat Kohli. Whoever gets the better of the outcome could be the team that wins. Yeah,
well, good luck to the boys. Of course, that match, India versus South Africa at 3:30, and that is at the Punjab Cricket Association Stadium in Mohali for the third and final T20 match. And then we go over to Germany, to Munich, where you wouldn't expect to find rugby, but indeed we do, in the Oktoberfest Sevens, where the Blitzbokke will be getting down to the action there.
Absolutely. You know, the Oktoberfest taking place in September. Let's not forget that. It's sort of just one of these tournaments in the build-up to the World Rugby Sevens series, which kicks off in Dubai in November. You know, to be fair to the Blitzboks, they didn't enjoy the best campaign last season. They finished 4th. They weren't really contenders for the overall title. Fiji, again, winners there. They beat the USA, which were, you know, the surprise packages with the All Blacks in third, sorry. So, but this is all sort of building up towards the 2020 Olympic Games, where Sevens, you know, is part of the program there. We won't forget
Very exciting stuff.
In Rio 3 years ago now, we came 3rd, picked up the bronze medal. So Neil Powell's sort of assembled this team. You know, it's mixed with a few Sevens key players, as well as those who've played a bit of 15-man rugby. We think Sabella Sinatla, Roscoe Speckman, you know, they both took part in the Super Rugby this year. They're back in the Sevens format. They're sort of building slowly for this year's season, plus next year's Olympic Games, where they hopefully will go 2 steps better than the bronze and pick up the gold. Yeah,
and it's always so exciting to see the new players that get blooded into the Blitzbokke squad that have the opportunity to then make their way and progress onto the 15-man game.
Absolutely.
The game format on its own is just magnificent. Whenever the Cape Town Sevens is here, the whole city comes together, and wherever it is in the world as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Cape Town Sevens is one of the great spectacles of world sport, not just Sevens, and not just South Africa.
Absolutely. All right, so good luck to the Blitzboks in Munich, in Germany, for the Oktoberfest Sevens. And then very exciting stuff as well, because women's rugby is receiving a lot of long overdue attention. You know, and right now the Springbok women's team will be taking on Spain. So very, very exciting stuff for them. That they get to play Test rugby.
Absolutely. You know, they're on a high at the moment. They qualified for the 2021 Rugby World Cup, which is going to take place in New Zealand. So, they're champions of Africa, beat Kenya in order to qualify. Now they're sort of building with all these matches in the lead up to the next couple of years. They've got Spain in dispatch this weekend. Again, the the women's team coming off a fairly low level, it must be said, but can only go up, can only improve. Spain, they'll prove a fairly formidable task for the SA women's team. But, baby steps, nobody's expecting success overnight.
Absolutely.
But, they're certainly building, they're on the right trajectory to head to that World Cup in New Zealand.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Garrin. Of course, we'll be returning again with Garrin a bit later on to take on part 2 of our weekend sports preview. A lot of football action in the PSL and, of course, the Premier League and a little dollop of Formula 1 for you motoring sports fans out there.